WLIF HD2 Baltimore.
The all-new Praise 106.1, giving our city just what we need right now. Baltimore's inspiration station. Praise 106.1.
From the Big Al Studio, Baltimore's #1 accident attorney.
The views and opinions of the guests and hosts you hear are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or its advertisers.
African Voices Radio presents David Adodo Show on 106.1 FM.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're listening to African Voices Radio.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. They wonder who I cannot understand the love you showed to me. See the love you give and no feed explain it. Oh, when I was lost, you found me. Now that I'm found, you bless me. You make me wonder, they wonder. You make me dance like this. See this kind of God I never see. The love you showed to me is so amazing. Sent your only son to die for me. Now I live in glory. Oh, me ma, Daddy Jehovah. As you pick me up, you set me on fire. Oh, me ma, Daddy Jehovah. See this kind of love we give, I never see before. Oh, me ma. We face, we will give you praises. Through the rain and stormy weather, you've been good, and you've been a good father, you've been good. I can never go back to the world. Situations nothing make me fall. By His grace I am standing tall. Now I live in glory. Oh me ma, Nanny Jehovah. As you pick me up, you set me on fire. Oh me ma.
You're listening to African Voices Radio.
See this kind of love we give, I never see before. Oh me ma.
Welcome to another episode of David Adodo Show on African Voices Radio 106.1 FM. Today, as usual, we'll have myself, the host, David Adodo. We have Tunde Phillips. We have the Queen herself, Dr. Eddie, Charles, and Mr. Egbeyemi, all the way from Nigeria. Mr. Egbeyemi, welcome you.
Thank you.
Welcome you to David Adodo Show on 106.1 FM. Looks like husband and wife are on the show today. We are very happy to have you. As you can see, I'm on mask because we are still dealing with coronavirus. And we all know that this thing is having a serious effect in Africa and Nigeria. So being in Nigeria right now, can you tell us what is going on in Nigeria relative to this coronavirus?
Yes, like it is in all over the world. Nigeria is another country sharing parts of the pandemic. It's not been easy. The government became very proactive. All the state governments that came and attacked the virus via different types of medical and health services. It is a fact that the first index case was recorded in Ogun State. That's precisely in Wekuro, the cement factory. And the Lagos State government and the Ogun State government worked hand in hand to curtail it and contain it. But unfortunately, the influx of other Nigerians from every part of the world brought the virus to us, and we are dealing with it. The virus is here. Different isolation centers have been opened. Different orders and regulations were meted out to Nigerians. Lockdown. We are on lockdown too in this country. We have been in lockdown in Lagos and Abuja and Ogun State for a month now. The president added another 1 week to it, which is ending on the 4th. and with other regulations that we are going to relax the lockdown. But I should tell you this. I just hope that Kano is not becoming the epicenter for this virus in Africa, because what we are dealing with in Kano now is so big that nobody can tell what is actually happening in Kano. This evening, there's a news that the Emir of Rano died, one of the emirates created by the governor of Kano State. The Emir died. He was horribly buried. Nobody can ascertain whether the death is as a result of coronavirus. So here in Kano today, we have a lot of things to deal with. And I must tell you that the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Mamora, has relocated to Kano. The Center for Disease Control, NDCD, has relocated to Kano. And just this evening again, reports are coming in that over 2,000 people that were tested in Kano today. We're actually yet to get the actual figure, but it's quite challenging. Let me quickly also tell you that this virus is claiming important Nigerians, and is affecting a lot of Nigerians. The owner of Dark Communications, High Chief Raymond Duffessy, is positive with his family. Wow. And we are praying for them. 6 members or 7 members of his family are in isolation now. And you also remember that the president lost his chief of staff through this virus. About four professors are dead in Kano right now as we speak. And I also have information that some prominent Nigerians are in isolation in Lagos here. So it's another big one in this country too. And we are going through it, and by the grace of God, we hope to get out of it like other countries.
Thank you very much. That's a wealth of knowledge that we just gathered from you. And I know before the end of the show, you are going to tell us a lot more about what is going on in Nigeria. Thank God we have a doctor in the house, Dr. Eddie. We are very fortunate to have you. For the past 1 month or so, we've been having you on the show, shedding light on this deadly disease. So, Dr. Eddie, what is going on right now? What is the medical field? What is the progress right now relative to vaccine and other medications that can help to reduce the impact of this disease? Dr. Eddie.
There's light in the end of the tunnel. I can hear you very well. Thank you.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, Dr. Eddie.
Yeah, there's light in the tunnel. Yeah, I heard you. Okay. There's light in the end of the tunnel. There's hope. The approaches to managing pandemics could be pharmaceutical intervention and non-pharmaceutical. That's what we keep preaching. The pharmaceutical intervention is still trying to mold itself into shape to get a hold on the whole thing. So while we're still battling with the pharmaceutical intervention, it is important that the masses focus on the non-pharmaceutical intervention. And it has been proven over again that the non-pharmaceutical intervention can use it to a significant level. This thing is not the first time. These pandemics have happened in the past. History is about to repeat itself. It happened in 600 and something AD. It happened in the 18th century. The most recent one we had was in 1918 to about 1919, the Spanish flu. And it's happening again about a century after. The problem that we have cut across the world that people don't want to believe that the non-pharmaceutical intervention works. So everybody's waiting for the pharmaceutical intervention. That's the problem. So it keeps spreading. We don't have a solution yet. Why don't we make do of what we have, the non-pharmaceutical intervention? And science has actually proven that the non-pharmaceutical intervention works, but everybody is waiting for vaccine. Everybody is waiting for the doctor. Everybody is waiting for remdesivir or from whatever. Simple wash your hands. Simple stay 6 feet apart. Simple thing. The non-pharmacological stay indoors. Simple don't go to where people are crowded. Basic pharmaceutical intervention. But hey, not pharmaceutical intervention, but what is going on is that people don't believe it. Everybody's angry. I too want to return to the public. Everybody wants to return. You think I like staying indoors, or my kids like staying indoors? No, everybody wants to return to normal life. But if we have data to support that, if you return to normal life, there's going to be a second wave. And who knows what wave we are? Probably we're in the second wave. Probably we're in the third wave. Who knows? So that's our approach.
Okay. Tunde. How are you doing, Mr. Tunde?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm good.
I learned that there is some kind of concussion, if I may call it that, in Madagascar right now that people are relying on as a cure for coronavirus. Is there anything you can tell us about this concussion from Madagascar?
I will not call it concoction. I would call it a remedy, an African solution to the coronavirus. Because regardless of where country it comes from, whether it's from Africa or from anywhere, as long as it's able to cure the virus, I think it's a light at the end of the tunnel. As far as we know, we have not heard a single death from Madagascar from coronavirus. That is something that should ginger people's mind. Not one single death have I seen from coronavirus in Madagascar. And other countries like Congo are beginning to order that particular medication, that particular remedy from Madagascar. Madagascar is shipping it out to them. Even Nigeria is thinking about getting a plane load of that solution from Madagascar. I think it is something that if the World Health Organization cannot look into, it is time for us to have an African health organization that should look into these things. We all grew up back home in Nigeria. We know that our parents would put some leaves together and cook these leaves, and you inhale these leaves and ferment these leaves, and then you feel better, and you cure malaria, and you cure this. There's no scientific proof. There's no scientific fact. But we feel better, and we move on. I think that is what Madagascar has done. They have put something together that is working for their citizenry, that is taking care of coronavirus. So I think it is high time we have an African health organization, to look into such things. We should not be waiting for the World Health Organization all the time. We are Africans. We should take care of our own. Don't get me wrong. It will be a subsidiary to World Health Organization. It is not in conflict with the World Health Organization. It is only a regional, an African health organization comprising of Africa, who live in Africa, who knows about these herbs and all these leaves and all these things, coming up with a remedy to take care of coronavirus. And it's not only coronavirus. We don't know what we're going to get down the line too, but kudos to Madagascar. If this is working, if it's taking care of their people, kudos to them. I mean, they have done a good job. We should all be proud of it if it is working right.
Charles, you heard what Tunde said. What is going on? What is going on with the number of cases right now in the whole world? What can you tell us about the case? It looks like it's constantly increasing.
Yes, Dave, like you said, first of all, thank you and welcome everybody. Our best fan in the world from Nigeria will welcome you. And now I know why Queen is looking like this today. But
Mr. Chance.
Dave, just like you said, I mean, this thing, from what Tunde just said about, concussion or no concussion, I think at this point, anything is better than nothing. But at the same time, you see, if you don't have anything, you just shut up because they themselves come up with something. If it's working for them, I don't know how doctor feels about it. I don't know how the doctor feels about this, but as far as I'm concerned, anything is better than nothing. So other countries probably might not want to look into this and see what they're doing. Right now, this thing continues. The number continues to go up. If you all remember, a country like Germany at some point, they relaxed everything about a month ago. Guess what? Their numbers are beginning to spike up again. Mm-hmm. After they relax, they shut down. Right now, you're about over 3.3 million people infected worldwide. And out of that, you have over 1 million also dead.
Wow. So
it's not, this is not a joke, guys. This is not a joke. So I'm glad with what our friend, our fan, our brother was saying from Nigeria, that is very scary, especially the Kanu. I'm looking at that. One of the problems they have, I don't know if you can speak more on this, is the governor is now really accepting that there's a coronavirus. The governor of Kanu is very nonchalant about this. I'm looking at the news, Nigerian news. He's beginning to ease up whatever that they have put in together as a lockdown. As yesterday's statement, he started easing it up, saying that they're going to open Monday, Thursdays, 8 to 5 o'clock, instead of having a complete shutdown with what is happening in Kanu. We know that Kanu can become another. We know all these states with high number of citizens. You're talking about Lagos, Kanu, Sokoto, Kaduna. Their numbers it's millions. If Nigerians doesn't take time, if they're not careful, Kanu will become a New York.
Yeah, Queen. Queen, how are you doing, Queen?
I'm okay.
I can see you are very excited. Your husband is with you today.
I can say that.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
Madagascar, an African country, has a promising. I still maintain what I said, concussion, because it has not been proven to be effective by World Health Organization. So, what can you tell us about Madagascar and their concussion?
Well, like Tunde rightly said, that we shouldn't call it concussion, but in African context, we believe it's concussion because when we were young, we believe in herb in those days. I don't know if now, even up till now, I still miss certain things, in Nigeria, that, okay, if you have any ailments, maybe you're having malaria, before you be transported to the hospital, there is this first aid remedy they come up with. They prepare the herb and they give it to you. And even this one that maybe you're having cold, you're having, mucus coming from your nose, they cover your head with the hot water, they put different, leaves in it. And by the time you sweat, you come out, you feel very good. You feel better. At times you don't even need to take a whole lot of medications. I believe this state that you call it concussion is a good remedy if they can come up with that. Most of these medications, so you can see, if you read the context on it, some of these things, they have herb in them. They have some roots processed, to come up with this particular, most of these tablets that we take. So for people to sit down and come up with such a good thing, it's a good remedy. There's pandemic, we need to work on it. Of course, the doctors, all these people, they don't believe in such a thing. But as an African person, I believe in it. I strongly believe in it. If it's going to kill the pandemic we're in, we're good to go. If they can work on it to see that, okay, this thing can save the world, let's work on it.
Okay, Dr. Eddie. Now, in Science Against Concussion, what can you say about this?
He's the right person.
First of all, let me welcome our brother from Nigeria. I miss my home so much. It pains me that. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're good.
Yeah, it pains me that this the whole thing is going on, and the wife of Bill Gates predicted that people are going to die, and people attacked her so much. I don't know why. Well, let me answer your question directly. The right word to call it in medicine is concussion, actually. Concussion just simply means a mixture of ingredients.
Thank you. Clap for me.
Yeah. We have different types of concussion.
He got something right today.
I got everything all the time.
Even in medicine, we have concussions also. There's what they call cocktail. There's what they call cocktail in medicine. So it's also concussion. Just mixture of ingredients. That's what it means. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Stay that way.
All right. Okay. All right.
Up a little bit.
So let me just dive into the answering it directly. So that particular concussion is actually made up of artemisinin. Artemisinin is the ingredient that we use to treat anti-malaria, because I read up a lot of journals about it. So ingredient that we use to treat anti-malaria that they used to do Coartem is what that concoction actually contains. I was listening to Rajolina. Rajolina is the president of Madagascar, so if I got his name correctly, when he was doing the announcement, and the president came out and said that 2 people have been killed, so they should be taking it, we don't have any death rate, and all sorts. While it's applaudable that there's something coming up, there's also a renowned Herbal Center in Nigeria, Ewu Monastery, that has also come out with their own claim. That different people are coming out with their own claim. I, Edward, also have my own claim. You, Mr. Charles, has your own claim. She has her own claim. Everybody can go into that. And there are a lot of people putting up claims now, putting up roots and saying, oh, should we not keep all believing them? Okay, why are we believing the Madagascar person? Is it because he's a president? Okay, let the queen come up with her own claim and let's believe her. Why are we doubting claim? Why are we doubting Queen's claim or Queen's husband's claim and believing the Madagascar president? Do you see how we reason in science? Why do I doubt Mr. John, who says he has a cure, and believe Madagascar person? Both of them, they don't have any. They just came out on TV and say, "Hey, I have a cure." Come on. We should think more scientifically. That's one of the reasons why when African countries say things, people don't believe them, because there's a process. There's a process to making scientific announcement. Before I come out and say something works, before you set up your company, you did registration, there's a process, there's a paperwork that you need to show to validate. We're talking about a president of a country at that level should be able to be responsible enough to put up a scientific team. What does it cost to put up scientific team? To say, let us bring out the process. A, constituent B, constituent C, constituent D, analysis, test in human. These are the number of people we tested. 500 people had COVID positive. They took it between 7 days. We saw a viral load. TCID went down. We also did it in this center. It's as simple as what I'm saying. Clinical research, randomized clinical research trial. It's very simple. And you come out with your paper, you do a peer-to-peer review, and you say, these are the constituents of the product. I just mentioned the constituents of the product. We give it to, this is how it works. The virus binds to, as the virus wants to bind, it prevents the binding. Do you have to wait for WHO to trigger that process for you? Come on, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Why are we making ourselves laughing stock everywhere? There's simple process. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. We do have a bunch of research. I do research. So many people do research in this America. If you can't do it back home, you don't have the facility. Why don't you contact people that can do this simple stuff? They come out with a paper and you validate the research at the end of the day. 4 weeks. Same thing that happened in chloroquine. Can't you see how we went through the process of chloroquine? And at the end of the day, we say, okay, chloroquine is working, or it's not working. Are you not satisfied with it? Why are we waiting for my grandmother in the village to tell me something is working and she doesn't know the process? So there's what they call historically controlled trial, randomized trial. Historically controlled trial. For anecdotes, I just take this and I give it to you. I don't know whether it's going to damage you the more. I don't know whether it's going to damage your seminal fluids, your bone, your liver, your lungs. It could. The side effects are so many. We don't even know what quantity do I take. When I was listening to Rachelina, sorry, I'm just going on and on. He said, give it to children. Give one bottle to children. What is one bottle? What the heck is that?
Yeah.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are still listening to. Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah,
but David Adodo Show on African Voices Radio. Mr. Egbeyemi, you heard what the doctor is saying about Madagascar and Tunde. Why is Nigeria looking up to Madagascar for this concussion? And that's question number one. Question number two, what do you attribute to the high rate of death in Kano?
You're mute. Mute. We can't hear you.
Yeah, while we're waiting for him to unmute, because you can see it here, it's still on mute. From what the doctor had just said, I mean, I mean, in defense to the Madagascar president, some other presidents, if not to say, Dave's president have come up here and claimed some allegation without
all right, it's up.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, you see, Nigeria is a country that I marveled at the way we treat our own. The last speech, the last address by Mr. President did not encourage research. There is no part of his speech that touched on research or even encouraged. The former INEC chairman, Professor.You, came up with what he said is his own solution. Nobody has invited him. We have series of traditional healers that had come up with what you call concussion. Nobody had listened to them. Now Nigeria, that is known for the trees that we call dogoyaro, we are known for so many things, is now going to approach Madagascar for solution. Well, for me, I don't think that's the right step in the right direction anyway. So I think we are looking inward, except that the daily briefing by the Presidential Task Force on coronavirus hinted yesterday that Nigeria may be looking toward Madagascar for their solution. I don't like that. I don't really like that. Secondly, you asked me to talk about what could be the cause of death in Kano. You see, let me quickly inform you. Today, the governor of Kano State is a PhD holder. The governor of Kano State is quite educated, and this is his second term in office. He was too docile about the whole thing until it's now blown. He also was deporting the Almajiris from Kano to other parts of the north. The Almajiris that were tested in Kaduna today, 13 of them, these are nomads. 13 of them tested positive. These are nomads. These are people who migrate, who move. They are quite mobile. Nobody can stop them. The Almajiris don't have a home. So if you are talking about 13 tested positive, you may come and tell me that we have 130 of them who are in Kaduna who should test positive. And because if you see a video that went viral, the Kano people were washing their hands in a bowl and drinking it like what is coronavirus. At a point in time, there was even a protest in Kano. They were chanting, "Ba corona, ba corona, ba corona." Now it is with us. The thing I don't like about the whole thing is now the migration, the lockdown is not even effective. It was reported in the media today that 3 lorry load of young Almajiris from the north are lighted in Ogun State today, both in Isheri and Ogiri, part of Ogun State. You see, Nigeria is toying with something very serious, and I can tell you that the prediction of the world people that said that dead bodies will be picked on the streets of Africa, I sincerely pray that it's not in this country. But the death in Kano is rising, and nobody talk about that at all. We're having it tough in Kano. Kano is rising, and Kano is rising. I think in the coming week, the relaxation of the lockdown is not a good one at all for this country, because I see Lagos State doing a lot of measures. The public transport, how many you could take, 60%, wash your hand at car parks and all that. Yeah, there are measures that are good. But Nigerians who are hungry for their job, Nigeria wants to go back to their businesses. Are you going to tell me that in Lagos Island, Martin Street, Balogun Market, Yabatejo Show Market, are you going to tell me these regulations will work? No, definitely not. Definitely not. Because we are used to a way of life that cannot stop people mingling. Yes, everybody should use a face mask. The face mask, doctors should tell us. Our Ankara face mask, we are being told that some of them are not as effective as we even think, that they won't work. And that's what we have all over. Everybody is now doing fashion with face masks, not minding. I have mine in my pocket here. Everybody has bought masks and we're all using them. But I want to say that we are toying. Me, I'm in self-isolation. I am not going out. My age does not permit me to mingle with anybody. So I'm going to I'm working online. So one of the things that this coronavirus has done to this country and people like us is that we have come to go technology. We have gone to go IT. I discovered I can do a lot of things online. Look at me now on air, talking to you. I'm a broadcaster for many years. I never knew that I could do this. You understand? So yes. I'm enjoying all this. And I think that by the time the pandemic is gone, Nigeria will have learned a lot of lessons. One of the biggest lessons we should learn is that we have neglected our healthcare services.
Absolutely.
We are now doing emergency. We are now building isolation centers. We are now building quick hospital. People are making money. That's the truth. People are making money from this situation. You know our country. This is Nigeria. People are making money from this situation. The people are thinking that, okay, the contract is here. Let us do this. Let us do that. So at the end of the day, God make us be alive at the end of the pandemic. I sincerely hope that a lot of lessons and new leadership will imagine this. New leadership will imagine this because people are already thinking wide. People are seeing, like we say in the local parlance, breeze don't blow. We don't see the yansh of fowl. Breeze don't blow where we don't see the yansh of fowl in this country. So this situation actually brought us to see the yansh of fowl in this country. So leadership will change hands in this country. I am sincere about that. I know it. A lot of young men are writing theses on our health services. They are writing theses on so many things. Look at Access Bank donated 1 billion to government, and this same Access Bank is now retrenching 600 people immediately from this month. Same Access Bank. It's all over on the media. I don't know why we are doing this to ourselves. A lot of people will lose their job at the end of the day. I, as an hotelier, we are on lockdown for the next, I don't know when this will be back. Our bars have not been selling. We have closed our rooms. The hospitality business is suffering. Entertainment is suffering. Leisure is suffering. A lot of party makers, event planners, they are crying. But this will also tell us to diversify in this country. Don't rely on one business. And if you do, you have to look at other variables, other possibilities. You think outside the box. And that's what this is doing to us. The lockdown is a blessing to a lot of Nigerians. It's also a cost to those who depend on their daily earning. The taxi drivers, the Okada driver, the woman who sells okra in the market, the woman who sells vegetable. This country, informal sector is too much. So the informal sector is really suffering right now. Unlike the formal sector, whether you go to work or not, you are still going to earn your salary. It could be half measured, it could be full. But the informal sector, the woman who sells in the market, the woman who depends on her daily earning is suffering. And government palliative is not going round. Government palliative is selective, is political, is sectional, is tribalistic, so many things. I give it to the governor of Rivers State, Wike. God bless him. He said, you can't bring fish to Rivers State. You want to give me fish in Rivers State, come and buy fish in Rivers State. You want to give me gari in Rivers State, come and buy gari in Rivers State. That governor is thinking outside the box. It's like taking yam to the people of Benue State. You want to dash people of Benue State. You want to give them palliative. You want to give them yam. You now bring yam from Lagos to Benue State. You buy yam in Lagos. Somebody is given the contract to supply yam to Benue State. And that's the food basket of Nigeria. That's the food basket of the North Central. So there are so many things we are getting wrong in this country, especially in this pandemic. A lot of people are making businesses thinking this is the time to milk the people. And I think it is not right.
Wow. We actually have somebody that has a lot to say about the situation that we are going through right now, Mr. Egbeyemi. I think we'll be inviting you back again because I'm very, very interested in a lot of things that you are saying. Tunde, Mr. Tunde, now you heard what Mr. Egbeyemi just touched a little bit on. Hunger in Nigeria. Hunger in Nigeria. And this is creating a lot of problems for the citizens. What can you tell us about what is going on related to food in Nigeria today?
Commit yourself.
not tell you much as per what is going on as per food in Nigeria because I'm not on the ground in Nigeria. I have to be in Nigeria to be able to tell you what's going on as per food. But what I can go back to is what Doctor said in his response to our issue of concoction. Yes, the white people has laid out steps to how medication, the efficacy of drugs should be done. We are Africans, we do not have those steps, but we do, our medications and herbs and things still work for us. This is passed on from generation to generation without no book or nothing written or documented, but it still works. That does not mean that we dismiss it. If we have an organization called an African Health Organization or somebody that can look into the efficacy of all these things and herbs, we will have things. Oh, that is said the World Health Organization. I'm not going to the World Health Organization. I'm taking of me as an African. The World Health Organization is talking about the whole world. That is right. It's taking them so long to look into Madagascar. They would rather go look into China and see China coming up with something. Madagascar does not have one death from coronavirus. Let us wake up here. Because it is not step by step and step by step does not mean that it's not working. You should look at it. It's a World Health Organization. If we have an African Health Organization that is caring for Africa as a continent, then such things will be looked into. We have doctors, we have professionals. We have the Dr. Babafemi Taiwo that was on CNN a couple of days ago. He's a Nigerian. He works with the NIH.
So we have to congratulate that gentleman.
I am coming to him later. He is the one leading the charge on this remdesivir that we're talking about in the United States today. He's a Nigerian. So we have the talent, we have the people, we can do this. All we just need to do is start looking within ourselves for solutions for ourselves and start forgetting about these Westerners. Westerners will take care of themselves. Before they come to you in Africa, they'll take care of themselves first. What are you doing to take care of yourself before they get to you? So if Madagascar has come up with a solution, even though we don't have step 1, step 2, step 3, if people are not dying there from corona, let's go and take that medicine. And then we can find research later.
Thank you very much.
Saving lives.
Yeah, it looks like the Queen has something to say before I give it to the doctor.
Well, no, not really. I wanted to actually ask Mr. Egbeyemi a question regarding Nigeria, what's happening in Nigeria. So many things are being flying around like a joke on social media that they were saying people had this coronavirus. 9 people had been discharged, healed and healthy. They go back to their homes, but they've not interviewed anyone. Nobody has they've not seen a single soul that came out to say, okay, I've been healed of coronavirus. So people are now looking at, in another part that maybe this is just, I don't want to use that language, scam, that maybe the government is trying to make money out of this, because you can discover that other states that they don't even have issue of corona, they're coming up to say, okay, we need money, we have issue of corona. Mr. Egbeyemi, what can you say about this? And secondly, there is a woman that she was crying that the son-in-law had this coronavirus, the symptom, and she was calling the NCDC. They were calling and calling in Kano, and they never showed up. They were calling Abuja. It was until the guy passed that they said there was no isolation center in Kano. None.
Mr. Egbeyemi.
Yeah, you see, the cultural thing has some negative effect on our approach to issues. When Corona landed in Nigeria, the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was quite proactive, and he aligned with the governor of Ogun State. Whilst other governors are relaxing, they felt it's a city thing. It's going to happen in the city. It is sold to some Nigerians in the rural areas that is big man disease. It's from China. It won't touch people in the rural areas. So people were not actually prepared for coronavirus. And by the time it started hitting into the hinterland of this country, that's when people stood up. Don't forget that the governor of Oyo State tested positive. The governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, tested positive. And he came back with a testimony that he does not wish his enemy to go through the pain he went through. I don't think that would be a scam. I don't think the very good governor of Oyo State will tested positive just to raise money for himself. No. I Chief Raymond Dokpesi, one of the people we respect very much in the media, is a media mogul in this country. Somebody who pioneered the beginning of private broadcasting. He started Ray Power. He started Dark Communications. He tested positive with his family members. We are praying for them. There's no scam in this. Just that, I must tell you, in the northern part of Nigeria, they were not ready. And you see, enlightenment program was not deep. And don't forget, this country has a lot of problems. We don't have electricity to even power enlightenment. And even when we do, you see, our cultural and religious diversity, the way we think differs. You see, we are a country that is fused together without so many. That is not a discussion for today. This country, we had different people. The people from Edo, the way they will think is different from the people from Kano, Jigawa, Sokoto, and all other parts of the country. But let me quickly tell you this. Whether we like it or not, coronavirus is here, is dealing with us. Every state, this is the time Nigerians are seeing the reason for federal system of government. The way Kanu is dealing with coronavirus for his people is different from the way the governor of Lagos State is dealing with it. So to your turn to Israel, that's what we are now in this country. Everybody, I see a state governor now, every state has blocked, there's no interstate. You can't enter River State, you'll be arrested. The governor of Kaduna supervised the blockage of the borders of the state by himself. Don't bring corona to our state. So we have demarcated ourselves. It is a statement, restructuring that we have been crying for in this country. Corona is trying to restructure us. Corona is bringing restructuring to this country. Everybody to your tent, O Israel. I can tell you that other states are also looking at concussion that will help them. The governor of Akwa Ibom State came out, Professor Ayade. He came out to profess, take fluid from the people who have recovered, he said blah, 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 blah. Some of my friends who are vast in medicine told me it's all medical jargons, that it doesn't work like that. Politicians will come out and say things the way they want people, and people were applauding him. They were sending the videos here and there, thinking it's as simple as he has said it. He's the executive governor of a state. He has finances, resources at his disposal. Let him call those professors he felt they are professor virologists and all that. Let him bring them together. Let them look for the solution instead of him coming on here to blah, 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 blah and tell us jargon. Because we are not medical people like Doctor is there. We are not medical people. The way he has said it, some of our media people picked it up, praising him, sending the video, making it viral. No. Politicians are also, like my dear wife asked me that question, politicians are making us look silly. They are doing razzmatazz. Everybody is coming on air to say what suits them at this moment. And they are using the opportunity to do palliative for their people. Face masks are being branded. Governors are branding face masks. They are putting that. Has turned to business. You understand? I give it to Lagos State. I give it to the governor of Oyo State. I give it to the governor of River State, Nyesom Wike. I give it also to Nasir El-Rufai, because the way I saw the roads leading to, I'm a Kaduna boy. I grew up in Kaduna. I know what can happen if we have 13 Almajiris testing positive to coronavirus. Then Kaduna is still on time bomb. Kaduna will blow like Kanu, but the man was very proactive. He had blocked the roads. Don't come into my state. Everybody is saying don't come into my state. When Wike said he's going to deport Almanjiri, they politicizing. Now the governor of Kanu is deporting people to Sokoto, to Jigawa. I call it spreading corona. Not deporting people. Spreading corona to Kanu, to Jigawa, to Kaduna. It's spreading corona. Ganduje is the spreader of coronavirus in Nigeria. Governor Ganduje is the spreader of coronavirus in Nigeria today. Because how dare you, at this period in our national life, you are deporting people to their state, people who have been infected already, you are not sending them, you are distributing. Somebody should halt Governor Ganduje. somebody should call him to order. The presidency.
Yes.
Yeah, Charles, what do you have to say? God, it looks like Mr. Benjamin is fired up.
Dave, believe it or not, he is not fired up. He is 120% correct. You see, that Kaduna governor, and everybody has been saying this. The man is not reliable. The man is...
You're talking about Kanu.
No, Kanu.
I'm talking about Kanu. Sorry, Kanu. The man is not reliable. The man is a criminal. The man was caught taking money in his pocket. And he said he wasn't himself. He was caught on the camera. And he went out there and told Nigeria that it's not him. And now he's coming out. You know, these pandemics that are happening in Nigeria, like I said before, if Kanu is not controlled, Dave, the second wave is going to be horrible. You know, and you know, the thing is, it's not, believe me, this is how everybody feels in Nigeria about Kanu. This is how, exactly the way he's saying it now. If you go on social media, not really on social media, if you go on national news in Nigeria, everybody, but guess what? Our president, who is the father of the man, wouldn't say nothing. He's not, all he said is, he just said, okay, lockdown in Kanu. That's it. You know, and they are letting all these people rove around the whole Nigeria, distributing this disease, you know. So he's actually correct. I agree with him. But another thing that I wanted to say something also is like what our friend said about this is not a scam, really. And the thing you got to understand, there's a stigma that goes with somebody that have this virus. So I can guarantee you that a lot of people they're not gonna come out on their own. Believe it or not, they are not going to come out on their own and say, hey, I just get cured. Even when they have it, they will not even tell anybody. You know, because there's a way people are seen. There's a stigma that it goes with, hey, I have coronavirus. So that's why he's saying, oh, but we have some prominent people that have come out and say, hey, I got this, and you know, right now I'm cured. I mean, if not for the names that he mentioned, think about the Prime Minister of UK. So the thing is not a joke. Coronavirus is not a joke, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are still listening to David Adodo Show on 106.1 FM. Dr. Eddie, there is a vaccine right now, or no? Is it? Maybe I won't call it. It's not a vaccine. I take that back.
It's a concoction. Right, it's not a concoction. No, it's not a concoction. So is it not a concoction?
Yeah, it's okay. What can you tell us about Remdesivir, Doctor? Remdesivir. Dr. Eddie. Dr. Eddie, I'm talking about Remdesivir, a medication that the FDA just approved for the coronavirus disease. What are the chances of it working effectively to as a palliative for this virus?
We can't hear you.
Yeah. I think he's having audio problems.
Can you hear me now, man?
Yeah.
I think move closer, move forward towards Jason. Yeah.
Sorry, it's my laptop. Maybe someday I'll be rich enough like Mr. Adodo to buy a clean one.
No, to buy what he has in his house.
So let me just quickly say, I thank the gentleman from Nigeria. He really spoke my mind. It's a cacophony of problems. So many things.
When you bought
it's from illiteracy to political rascality to poverty to grandiosity, just name it, to irresponsibility, not only on the part of the government, the part of everybody, including me. Ask myself, what have I done to help my people back home? I'm a very renowned person. What have I done? Including you, including everybody. So it's good for us to point fingers, but let's not also point fingers. All right, back to Remdesivir. But before I talk about Remdesivir, let me just clarify something Tunde said. Yeah, we have a treatment. Okay, let me tell you, there's a village in Ewu. They've not recorded one dead person. They have a treatment. There's a village in Timbuktu. They've not recorded one dead. They have a treatment. There's a village in Ghana. They've not recorded one dead. They have a treatment. There's a village in Liberia, they've not recorded one day they have a treatment. Which of the treatment are you going to take?
So do we now say that because they have no record, because that treatment is working, that it is not? It's not
that it's working. That's what we're talking about.
No. So do we doubt the efficacy of those treatments?
I've mentioned 50 villages now. How do you know they're working? There's a process. That's what we're talking about.
If nobody, I don't doubt the process. The process is for the Westerners. If nobody is dying and they are taking that medicine, please give them that medicine.
No, it's not a Western process. It's not a Western process. It's life process. Life process. Right. Everybody cannot come out and make claims. Remember how the President of America made a claim and how everybody attacked him for making something.
That's a different President of America.
Scenario. You come out and say broken is
why is it different?
Exactly.
Why is it different for the President of Madagascar?
It's different because what we're talking about is different. We're talking about what they came up.
The difference is that he has 65,000 people dead. Madagascar doesn't have one.
I just mentioned 50 countries.
So
I just mentioned 50 cities that don't have one dead.
What I don't want us to do is to think that because there's no science backing these things that they don't work. Don't let us believe that.
No, you're not getting me wrong. You're not getting me wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Because science has a series of steps to prove something.
I talk from my perspective. So many things work. So many things. For us to put it out there, we need to be sure that they actually work. And there's a process to find out.
Now we don't even know how much dosage we should give to each person. We're still experimenting the dosage. So that's what I said. It's a working process. So if we have something that is working, that is nobody has died in Madagascar. Are you kidding me? We have over 60. This is the United States of America. Over 60,000 people dead. Madagascar is where? In Africa, and nobody's dead.
Okay, hold on. Let me say something. In science, let me say something. In science, facts overshadow emotions.
True.
Yeah, facts. True. Saying that nobody died in Madagascar, do you have data to support it?
It is not on the internet. Every other country on the internet.
You have data.
The data we're talking about, even the United States data, is on the internet.
Oh, it's everywhere.
They loaded it. You have data.
What other data do you want? What other data do you want? It's on the internet. Go Google it. Go look on the internet. That's where all the data is coming from. So
if they record any deaths, they won't shy away from putting it up. They'll put it up.
Internet, you will see it. You put it up.
You just had an American doctor that just a couple of weeks ago get locked up for vitamin C injections.
Exactly.
We can't come out and begin to claim that things work when we don't have a process for it. That's what I'm saying.
Tunde,
yes.
What Dr. Eddie is saying, that there has to be a process, a step-by-step process.
I understand. I understand that. While you're doing your step-by-step process, people are dying. And I don't have step-by-step process and nobody's dying. Then you should look into what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying your step process is not working.
Okay, let me say something. No, don't say they should look. Don't say they should look into. Don't say they should look into. He should look into it. Why is Madagascar not looking into America? Why is Madagascar waiting for America to look into it? Madagascar waiting for US to look into it. Why don't they look into it themselves?
No, Madagascar looked into it, came out with a solution, and the US has sent researchers there to find out how they did it. So they look into themselves. What I'm saying science has to come up at some point. Science has to come up and meet technology at some point. Understand?
Let me say something. If you say, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Let us stop waiting for the Western world to look into it. There's a process that local people can look. Mr. Egbeyemi, ask a question. There's a process for that anybody is easy for everybody to do.
There's no cure for coronavirus. Nigeria has 2,170 positive. We have 351 treated and discharged. With what? What treatment? Then we have 68 dead.
So if you remember when you were talking, you talked about education. That's why this education is important. the health personnel should begin to educate people on the nature of this disease. People recover even without treatment. People recover. The body fights the virus, and they recover. So they could have as well recovered on their own. Lots of people are recovering. Look at the death rate, less than between 7 and 11%. 2 million people, 200 people died. That's what percentage? Check it. 3 million people, 200 people died. That's less than 10%. We're not saying 10% is not significant. But so education, they have to keep educating people that, people recover. People can recover. And there are other treatments, like Mr. Tunde was saying, there are treatments that are anecdotal. If it does not harm you, I mean, I don't want to be on the air to say, go take it, but hey, it's not harmful. What are you going to do? But our problem is now coming out, every village coming out to jump out. It's going to muddle the water for everybody to say, I have a cure. Okay, let me sit down, put up something and say, I have a cure. Let the United States government come and look at me. After all, nobody has died in my house. Come on. What are we talking? Process. Remdesivir, straight to your question, remdesivir is a nucleoside analog. It was used in the test tube to treat antiviruses before. And they said, oh, wow, probably it worked for Ebola, it worked for other diseases. Now let's subject it to process. So they subjected it to a very limited number of people, and they saw that it worked. You see, it's easy. Just give it to few people. And they said it worked. FDA now said, wow, probably we are seeing some prospects. Let's now open it. That was why they gave it that approval. That's emergency use approval, because they need more people to use it so that they could be able to say, yes, it actually is working. This is what they call process.
But the problem is sometimes when it's not an approved treatment, you'll have the government come in and shut people down, like they just did recently with the guy that was doing vitamin C treatments. It wasn't a cure, but it was helping to reduce, the term that
the immune
someone
system
would have and boost the immune system, but then they quickly shut him down and tried to discredit him.
And when they say process, it must not mean lab, keep looking. It's just simple numbers to support your claim. I gave it to this number of people, and it works.
Hey, Dave, just one thing, Dave, please. The doctor, I can understand where Tunde is coming from. We're going to understand this. I know there's a Western world. Everything doesn't have to be a Western world way, but remember, this Western world are built on law. And most of African countries are created on culture. You see, so things could be different. We don't have to do it. I mean, Tunde that's if you look at where the Tunde is coming, we don't have to really based on this Lego, because it's probably not a way of life for us. Culturally, that's how Africans have existed. And in as much as we're changing those culture to become into whatever is trending, there's nothing wrong trying some of these things, whatever system that we have used in the past that is helping us. So let's differentiate these things.
Queen, can you begin to round up, please, Queen?
Thank you. Well, it's been a beautiful show for today. We're going to continue next week. It's hard because of the pandemic we're in. We can't stop by continuing to talk about it. We just want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors. We still need more people. Their Food and Poultry, we say thank you so much for sponsoring this program. Heritage International Food for your support. We say thank you very much, very, very much. We appreciate you guys. And we say thank you to Radostown International Market. Thank you so very much. And a host of others. We're still expecting a whole lot of people. And if you want to be part of this by sponsoring this program, give us a call on 202-913-8659. Africa International Food, thank you so very much. Thank you. We appreciate you all.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Eddie, can you round up?
Yeah. What we're saying is, I'm not against Madagascar and their cure, anybody. We love that. In fact, I'm looking for a way to even contact those people so that it's because it's actually business. If I could help them refine the process, I'm going to patent it and we'll make a lot of money.
The money is coming in too.
That is what the private
interested in this one.
That is what the private sectors they do in the US. These pharmaceutical companies, they are business companies. They contact these people. Say, hey, what you got? Let's see.
Thank you, Dr. Eddie. Charlie.
Yeah, thank you for everybody and one of our fans. We really appreciate you today. And one thing that I would like us to do, Dave, maybe next Saturday, we would like the doctor to speak into what the life after this corona, in terms of, we know that definitely we're going to be wearing our mask. So please, Doc, researching that and talk to us next time. Everybody be safe. Bye.
Tunde.
Well, everybody be safe. Stay home, put your mask on, cover yourself up when you sneeze or cough. Would like to say a big thank you, a huge thank you to Mr. Egbeyemi for giving us the perspective back home. Most of the things that we see, we read on the internet, we hear on the news, but to have somebody live from back home giving it to us live and direct, that's what they say, hearing it from the horse's mouth. Thank you so much for being part of the program. I appreciate your presence. Thank you.
Mr. Egbeyemi, I personally want to thank you for coming on this show. We appreciate you. We appreciate you and your wife. And if you have some few things to tell us before I round up.
Yeah, I just want to thank our Facebook friends, those who are watching directly Africa, those who are watching me right now. A lot of people have joined you for watching. And let me quickly say to Lagosians, please remember the lockdown is relaxed tomorrow, and Monday. And the government wants you to wear your face mask. Is an offense. There is a law that has been passed. If you don't wear your face mask, you can be arrested and prosecuted. And the social distancing. I love the governor of Lagos for saying that you can bury your head now, but it has to be just 20 people, including the ministers. That is, if you are a Christian, including the ministers, if you are a Muslim, including the clerics. Social distancing. And this will help us in the long run in this country. At least people know now that you can. MC Oluomo lost his mother. May her soul rest in peace. Oshodi will have been Oshodi will have been so jam-packed. But he buried his mother simply with about 16 people present. That's a maneuver in this country. It shows that we can cut down our expenses on burials, weddings. I saw burials online. Thank you very much for thinking me on the program. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody, and all our fans and listeners. I really want to thank you for listening. We'll be back again, same time, same station. And again, this is David Adodo Show. You have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
I worship you like day and night. I sing for you. Everything I give to you, my heart and soul.
You're listening to African Voices Radio.
All power bow before you. Every tongue confess you and God.
WLIF HD2 Baltimore.
The all-new Praise 106.1, giving our city just what we need right now. Baltimore's inspiration station. Praise 106.1.
From the Big Al Studio, Baltimore's #1 accident attorney.
I told you. This is Rhonda Jackson, and for over a year now, I have been talking about foreign exchange and cryptocurrency trading. And I also said a recession was coming, and we had to be prepared. Let me slow down. First, my heart goes out to everyone in this tough time. I know through prayer and not allowing fear to take over us, we will be okay. But for those of you who have been sent home from your jobs, the possibility of not having a job to return to, a decrease in pay, or you want to be home and can't, call me today, 443-365-8026. Instead of waiting on $1,000 stimulus check, we are home today trading in our pajamas, literally trading a few cents and making thousands of dollars a day. Call me, 443-365-8026. Again, 443-365-8026. Learn the skill of trading.